Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first welcome everybody present at the district office and everybody watching at home. Just some housekeeping items if you're in-house. So please turn your cell phones on silent or cut them off for the duration of the meeting. In a moment, we'll stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like, when we're done with the pledge, that everybody stand, continue to stand, so the Bensalem High School Junior ROTC can present the colors. So at this time, if everybody can stand up for silent reflection and Pledge of Allegiance. Some more general announcements. The Board of School Directors action meetings are conducted on the fourth Tuesday of each month at the Dorothy D. Call Administrative Center, Meeting Room, 3000 Dolan Drive, Bensalem, Bucks County. The calendar of the yearly meeting dates and duly announced according to the law are publicly advertised. The board meetings are broadcasted live over Comcast 28, Verizon Fios Channel 32, and live streamed on our district website, as well as recorded for future broadcast. Dr. Lee, if you'd like to take the introduction of the next one.
Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome and good evening to everyone. I see Mrs. Judy, principal of Struble Elementary School, and I understand there's some stars in the house. If you wouldn't mind to coming up and introducing our Struble students and staff, that would be great.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Tonight we have with us Mrs. Silber, and her co-teacher is Mr. Fitzpatrick, and they are going to bring some of our wonderful sixth grade GT students from around the district. They're not just Struble students. They're from all of the elementary schools. So without any further ado, Miss Silber and company, come on up. I wasn't really prepared to do that, right?
Hello, everybody. I'm Christina Silver, and Hello, everybody. My name is Christina Silber, Mrs. Silber. I'm the sixth grade gifted teacher at Struble for Humanities, and I am going to enlist the board members' help for a moment. I'm going to give each side a puzzle to put together while I'm telling you what their project was, and then these students will tell you about their puzzle that they had created. Yes. So, um, what our students did is they had read a book in small groups, and they then created a mural depicting 10 different aspects of the book, including themes and conflict and character development, setting, and so forth. And once they created their puzzle and we cut it into pieces, they then took turns as a class putting them together and explaining the importance of the 10 illustrations that they had placed on their mural. And it could be a combination of hand-drawn, computer-generated, magazine or other media, and they had to create their own unique interpretation of their text. So we have two groups that came tonight to explain to you their murals that they had put together. I'm going to give you like a few seconds there to kind of work together to put it. And then I'm going to have the kids present. For those of you who are in the audience, you can see the first group that will present will talk about the book Echo, and then they will put on the screen the other picture for you to see. So without further ado, I will let Julian and Vinny take over. And I'm going to have you guys stand over here while they present.
Hello, my name is Julian O'Connor,
And my name is Vincent Duffy.
and this is our mural poster based off of the book Echo, written by Pam Munoz Ryan. This story is about three children, Frederick, Mike, and Ivy, using a magical harmonica to distract themselves from the horror of World War II, filling them with hope. Families are torn apart to a degree in which only music can heal. Despite its length, Echo can be summed up in more or less 10 images. First off is the cookie tin. This is meant to represent Frederick, being the object he must use to free his father from a Nazi concentration camp. His sister, Elizabeth, sends him Christmas cookies as well as bribe money hidden within a small compartment of this container. Both characters go through heck and high water to save their father, showing their dedication to the family. In addition, a muddy stain was added to characterize the birthmark on Frederick's cheek.
Next off, we have the four instruments featured on the poster, three. Those being the piano, the cello, and the flute. Each of those respectively represents the main characters of the book, Frederick, Mike, and Ivy, as those are the instruments they play.
Now onto the Granny Smith apple, which is located next to the piano. While we are aware that Mike and his brother Frankie's grandmother has passed away, and that adds an unnecessarily morbid tone to this, but if you look closer, this fruit has a lot more to hide. New York is sometimes referred to as the Big Apple, and the grandmother always wanted to take her grandchildren to Carnegie Hall, being located in New York. This is also substantial to the book because it shows that there is so much going on in the cracks and creases of society, most of which you will never see, just like the lives of every side character in the book. It's just a mystery.
Next off, we have the World War II promotions featured in different locations around the poster. These being represented by war bonds, posters, and stamps. And those with images on them depict important events during World War II, such as Hitler gaining power and the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
In the middle of our list is the backdrop of our puzzle, Carnegie Hall. This symbolizes the place that all characters came together and had a happy ending.
Okay, so next off we have the jacket. This was gifted to one of the later main characters, Ivy, by her brother Fernando, when he was sent off to fight in World War II. And this was the only thing he left behind for his family to have, and Ivy treasures it a lot, and it helps her get through her part of the book. Okay, next would be the magic harmonica. It is a little hard to see, but it is held by the silhouette on main stage. And basically, this harmonica is a symbol of hope for all three main characters throughout the book, as they each find themselves in ownership of it, and they use it to help them get through World War II, as it is really difficult, and this harmonica, along with its difference from other harmonicas being concealing the three sisters from the prologue, it is very important to the book and allows everyone that comes across it to, just have a better life.
Second to last is Kenny's badge. Kenny Yamamoto was a kind Marine Corps soldier accused of being a Japanese spy based only on his nationality. He was also the one who allowed Ivy, the third main character's parents, to keep their new house. Since Ivy wanted to thank the man, she gave away the harmonica. During a routine patrol, because he was a Marine, Kenny was ambushed and shot, but lucky for him, he had the harmonica in his chest pocket, which the bullet dented but also stopped from the bullet penetrating him.
Okay, next we have the storybook Falling Off the Stage, and this book, titled The 13th Harmonica of Otto Messenger, it is what makes up the prologue and epilogue of the book. And so, in the prologue, the young boy Otto gets lost in the forest because he was distracted while reading the book, and he meets the three sisters, Ein, Zizwe, and Dre, from the storybook, who had been sent off to live with a witch in the woods because the king had wanted a son to inherit the throne. And so he found them, and when he lent them his harmonica, then they were all trapped inside it, which altered the tone and how the harmonica actually sounded. And then next up we have the music staffs flying out of the harmonica. At the beginning of each part of the book, we are given a song that is representative of the main character for that part. Those being, for Frederick's part, Bram's Lullaby, for Mike's part being America the Beautiful, and for Ivy's part being Auld Lang Syne, with the notes coming out of the word echo at the bottom, representing the fourth part, playing Some Enchanted Evening. Okay. Well, and that is our presentation on the book Echo. Thank you for your time.
This is also another look at the cover of the book. And, here's it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sia Patel. I am in 6th grade. I used to go to School Lane Charter School, and I recently transferred to Russell C. Struble Elementary.
Hi, I'm Corinne Flowers, and I'm from Cornwalls Elementary, and I transferred to Struble at the beginning of the school year.
Hi, I'm Joseph Hughes, and I came from Cornwalls, but at the beginning of the year, I transferred to Struble.
And this is our presentation on the book When You Trap a Tiger by Tay Keller. So I would first off like to start by presenting the left side of the screen, which you may notice are the 5 raindrops. The first raindrop I'm going to talk about is the one with the house. So all these raindrops represent different settings of the book, and we decided to put the settings in the raindrop because it would go with the mood of sadness, like it's one big teardrop. So the house represents the main character, Lily, and when she and her older sister, Sam, and her mom moved to her grandmother's house, and their religion is Korean, so they actually call their grandmother Halmani. So when they moved to their Halmani's house, that's basically where they lived. The next picture is a picture of fruits, and that represents a grocery store. The grocery store is relevant to the story because that's when the main character, Lily, she figures out a secret of her friend Ricky after she eavesdrops on his conversation with his dad, and she realizes that his dad is not a really friendly dad, he's like a really strict dad. The raindrop connected to the rainbow is a picture of dark weather and clouds and rain, and this represents the weather where they live, which is in Washington, and it's either really, really rainy and like cold or really, really sunny. The picture right below the fruits is a picture of a cottage, and that represents the library. In the book, it actually says that the library looks like a rundown cottage, so that's why it looks like that. The library is important to the story because the main character, Lily, she really likes to read, and later on in the book, she helps out with a bake sale the library hosts to make the appearance look better and raise money and to help people. The last raindrop is a raindrop of a red cross, and that represents sickness in the book and hospitality because at the end of the book, there's a major rush to the hospital and it all revolves around the idea of sickness.
The next part that I'm going to talk about is the top right corner, which has a rainbow. The rainbow represents the weather and where they live, which is either really rainy and cloudy or sunny and bright. And then it also symbolizes the fact that Lily always sees like the good in everything, even when there's a lot of sickness and other things happening. And then in the very top right corner, you can see a sun. It's supposed to be a sun god. And the sun god is important because it's the person who gave Lily's great-great-grandmother the power to change between a tiger and a girl. But it's really a curse because the girl originally was asking for too much.
On the mountain, there is a picture of Harmony when she was young, and she has a star jar because the star jar is the stories of the tiger, which she stole because they didn't make people feel that well, and she thought that that was really bad, so she would release them so that the tigers could not get to him. But the tiger is right behind her, as you can see in the tiger shadow. And on the book there is a quote saying, "Some stories refuse to stay bottled up," which sums up the star jar because she would release them because they wouldn't stay in the star jar, or at the end, eventually the tiger would end up drinking some of the stars and it will remember the stories again. And on the road, there is a picture of a car because Harmony was driving and then she had to stop because the tiger shadow was chasing her and hunting her down, and she stopped and she got sick and she ended up throwing up on the side of the road. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you very much for listening to our kids present. All right. Go ahead out.
So at this time, we have some recognitions, and Dr. Lee's going to take the helm here.
Thanks again, Mr. President, and good evening again, and welcome all. And great work, Struble and Mrs. Silver and team. Thanks. They took a lot of complex plots and storylines and put it on a canvas for us and walked us through it. So well done. Thank you. Speaking of canvases, we are proud and honored to have a naval honor recognition Marine Corps Junior ROTC program. You met them. They presented the colors. Thank you for being with us. Their leader, senior leader instructor, Colonel John Church, has been recognized by his peers as the Bensalem Township High School Teacher of the Year. The committee defined the Bensalem High School Teacher of the Year as a dedicated educator who demonstrates commitment and passion for their craft. Earning the admiration of faculty, administration, and students, this teacher challenges and engages students and is committed to their success, demonstrating a passion and a joy of teaching that inspires the school community. In order to pick the winner, the committee created an inclusive process that involved teachers, students, and administrators. Each of the 5 building administrators initially nominated 2 teachers. Teachers and students then voted, and 3 finalists were chosen. Following the process, the 3 finalist names were submitted to the Bensalem High School admin team, who as a group chose the winner. For the inaugural year, 3 finalists were Mrs. Chelsea Root, Mr. Christopher Sturman, and Colonel John Church. And the winner was announced at the Bensalem High School Pep Rally on Friday, March 25th, in front of the entire school community. Colonel Church said, "Master Sergeant Worthen and I are blessed to be teaching some amazing young people, to have strong support from the staff, faculty, and families, and we enjoy being a part of the Bensalem High School community and family. His devotion to duty, the amazing cadets in our charge, and our peers inspire me to give my best every day." Congratulations, Colonel Church, Bensalem High School Teacher of the Year Award 21-22.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. Thank you, everyone. This is quite a thrill, and it's very humbling. And truthfully, I would be remiss if I did not tell you that it is the cadets of this program, the very passionate parents and family members behind them, the administrators, the alumni, Master Sergeant Sean Worthen, who is one of the finest Marine staff non-commissioned officers with whom I have ever served, and we are truly blessed. And he has great ties to the community, as some of you know. It is a very, very amazing honor that you have bestowed upon me. I am truly humbled, and I just want to thank every one of you. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.
It's also my privilege to have the opportunity to introduce you to some of our finest athletes, competitors, and representatives of Bensalem Township School District. We've had a number of state qualifiers across a number of sports: swimming, wrestling, girls wrestling are represented tonight. Is Drew with us? Drew Henry? Unfortunately, Drew couldn't make it. Drew was a PIAA state swimming championship qualifier, 5th place in 200 intermediate medley, IM medley, 9th place in the 500 freestyle. He was a boys District 1 swimming 2nd place honoree or performer in the 200 individual medley, and 5th place in the 500 freestyle. So congratulations, Drew. We'll make sure we provide and get your certificate. You see Drew on the winner's podium. So Maya? Come on up. Congratulations and welcome. Maya Krieger. This is not the first time you've been in public, right? How many people watched you win in wrestling? Yeah. Oh, is that what? Sorry. Maya Krieger is the My House Girls High School Wrestling Pennsylvania State Champion, second place finisher, and the Girls East Wrestling Regional Champ. Maya, what grade are you in? A freshman. Maya, I think you'll be back here. I'm confident. But on behalf of the Bensalem Township, your mom and dad here? Come on up, please. And Coach Donovan Williams. All right, couldn't be better. Thank you. Congratulations, and thank you for representing at such a high standard. Thank you. Congratulations. We get some. Oh, yeah. It's all right now. Do you want to step in front here? And
Go ahead. Go ahead with Coach. In front of the podium.
Go, Coach.
So, hey, I want to say thank you. Last time we did this, we weren't in person. I've seen so many people in this room who support our program in more ways than you know. Some of you have been my teachers. Some of you have been my mentors, all kind of things. But just so you know, you add to our program. We're here to honor Maya, and as you can see, she's kind of shy. But the good thing is when she's on the mat, she is not. Maya faces adversity every day. She's one of the only 2 girls on my wrestling team, and every day she overcomes it. And even worse, I'm her coach, so I asked Maya to push herself harder the day before. I'm so happy that it worked out for Maya, and she's been doing super well and fantastic on the mat. And as you know, I guarantee you she will be back here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Oh, yeah. Coach, can you come on? Mom, Dad, come on up. Please step in front of the podium. I see Coach Malloy.
One of us.
Yeah, half of the Malloy coaching tandem are with us tonight, and they are just pure class and quality across the board. And I'm going to leave it to you, Coach, if you don't mind, to introduce your honorees. I'd appreciate it. These are our indoor track and field state competitors and qualifiers. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. Coach Malloy couldn't be here tonight. She's with the CYO team down at Penn Relays. Gentlemen, the rest of you, come on out. This year we were honored to take 3 different events to indoor states. We had Ashton Barnes, he competed in the 60-meter dash. We had Robert Walton, who competed in the high jump. He was also the alternate for our 4x200 meter relay. And our 4x200 meter relay athletes were Zion Green, Daniel Viscano, sorry, Bruce Bell, and Ashton. There was a lot of drama at the indoor meet, especially with the 4x2, but let's start with Ashton. Ashton was our first athlete. He ran the 60-meter dash open. He finished 22nd out of 25 athletes. To qualify for the state meet in a 60-meter dash is quite a feat. It's hard. Like, you all heard of Usain Bolt? That's what he does, and that's what Ashton does. And he did it, and he qualified, and he did it to the best of his ability with a hamstring injury. So congratulations to Ashton. Like, that's quite a feat. Clearly, he's very shy. Robert actually was honored during cross-country season at the school board meeting for being a cross-country athlete qualifying for states. However, he couldn't make it because of Sixers game. Yeah. We won't talk about that. However, Robert did qualify for high jump. That's an unusual duo. So he's a distance runner and a technique athlete. He went to high states for high jump. Did very well. He was a little, starstruck, but he did very well. And now he's on his way to qualify for districts for high jump and high jump. Districts and high jump, sorry. Our 4x2, that's where the drama comes in. We had our order all set. They check in, they go to the meet, everything's all great, they're warmed up, and our leadoff says, I don't know if I can lead off. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? We switch. That's when Zion steps in. He, without even hesitation, he says, I'll lead off. Steps on, he leads off, great lead off. He's in the lead at lead off. After lead off, Daniel gets the baton. He's still in the lead. He's doing great. Bruce gets the baton. He's holding on. Ashton has a fantastic anchor leg even after the hamstring injury. Unfortunately, we fall to 10th place, but top 8 medal. But it was a great relay. They all came together as a team. They all worked together. Like these 5 gentlemen, they're what Bensalem Track and Field is about. And we are very proud of them, and we are so looking forward to what happens at districts and states in the next few weeks. So we'll see you in June. Hopefully we'll see you in June. Yes, so thank you, gentlemen. Ashton, Zion, Robert, Daniel, and Bruce. All right. Congratulations, gentlemen. Picture?
Might get some pictures.
Picture. Here.
I want to get in this because I like it. I'm not usually photographed with fast people. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations. You set an incredibly high bar and standard in your representation and performance, so thanks very much. Moving on to highlights. We're delighted to announce that for the 3rd year in a row, Bensalem has been selected by the NAM Foundation as one of the best communities for music education. Congratulations to our wonderful music staff and our music students. Our food service department was excited to be selected to participate in the Giant 2022 Feeding School Kids Roundup program again this year. Our local Giant store invited customers to round up every purchase for donation to the local public schools. Bensalem Township School District is one of 14 districts to receive a donation. On March 31st, Bensalem Giant representatives stopped by with an $8,367.84 check. We truly appreciate and thank our wonderful community as well as Giant for the generosity they have shown throughout the program. In the picture is Giant Assistant Store Manager Dawn Glarum, myself, Giant Associate Maddie L., and Ben Salem Township Assistant Food Service Direct Coordinator Crystal DiGiacomo. Thank you, Giant. Congratulations to Ben Salem High School student Oak Badeko. She was awarded a certificate on April 6 in recognition of her fabulous artwork that was selected to represent Ben Salem Township School District at the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Student Art Gallery. Joining her at the reception was her art teacher, Mrs. Carly Nahara, and myself. Congratulations. On April 4th, the Ben Salem High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC cadets had the opportunity to visit the United States Coast Guard Station in Philadelphia, Sector, Delaware Bay. After a safety brief, the cadets had the opportunity to board the U.S. Coast Guard tug Capstan. They saw a weapons demonstration, line throwing challenge. The cadets learned how to throw a line, life raft inflation demonstration. A Coast Guard volunteer talked about the Coast Guard and what they do, and they attended a maritime law enforcement presentation. This was a wonderful experience for our cadets to get on the water, and they had a great time. 8th grade students in Mrs. Kim, Mr. Hanley's, and Mr. McCabe's physical education classes have been learning ballroom dance moves for the past 2 months. On April 22nd, the students performed during a school-wide assembly to showcase their talents. The students were led by dance instructor Andrew Pollingham from Dancing Classrooms. They learned the following dances: swing, salsa, foxtrot, merengue, rumba, tango, and waltz. Great job, Schaefer Sharks. As part of the 2022 Sea Perch competition, Snyder Middle School's full-year STEM class sponsored and led a donation drive for the Women's Animal Center, previously the Women's Humane Society in Ben Salem. The Sea Perch competition challenges students to demonstrate making a positive impact within their local community. Snyder students were able to collect over 40 items for the Women's Animal Shelter. Along with community outreach, Sea Perch challenges students to design and engineer an underwater remote-operated vehicle, a ROV robot, to compete in a series of obstacles. Snyder students will compete in an Olympic-sized swimming pool with our ROV, Albert Einstein, in Philadelphia on April 29th. That's OWLBERT. The Belmont Reading Olympics team, Belmont Books and Beyond, participated in the virtual competition on Thursday, April 21st. The competition consisted of 3 rounds of questions presented Kahoot style. The team members worked together to produce the best answer for each question. At the end of the competition, the team earned a first place award. Thank you to team sponsors Mrs. Depew, Mrs. DiLeonardo, and Mrs. Kleiman for their support and guidance during the weekly practice sessions. Congratulations. At Cornwell's, students have been busy learning about nature and the seasons. Teachers took some of their kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade students out on the walking path for a spring scavenger hunt. Students were identifying plants, animals, and their habitats as they walked and talked. It was a great way to connect learning in the classroom and outdoors. On Wednesday, April 20th, the Faust Parent-Teacher Group held its first VIP dance for grades 3 to 6. Students were able to bring their special someone and enjoy a night of dancing, games, and refreshments. It was a great way for the students to show that someone special, how much they mean to them. The event went so well that the next one will be for grades K to 2. Special thanks to Mrs. Giannitti and Mrs. Hill, and of course the PTG, for making this a night to remember for all. As a culminating activity to their poetry unit, Rush 6th grade students participated in Poetry Cafe. Students worked for weeks studying poetry, practiced their writing, and perfecting their style. After all their hard work, students published 6 different poems. They were able to share their poetry with each other and celebrate all their hard work. On Monday, April 11th, Struble Elementary students were surprised by a special guest at their assembly. The Philadelphia Eagles mascot Swoop was in the house. He was there to congratulate the students that were recognized for modeling Struble's school-wide positive behavior intervention and supports. 4 B's: be safe, be kind, be respectful, and be responsible. I thank you to Board of School Director Mark Cohen and the Philadelphia Eagles for making Swoop's visit a reality. Valley Elementary Reading Olympic sponsors Mrs. Sherman and Miss Moran congratulate Valley's 2022 Reading Olympic team. The students worked very hard over the past few months reading and preparing for competition. Last week, the Reading Raptors earned a first place blue ribbon for a job well done at their virtual competition. It's the reminder that kindergarten registration is ongoing. And a little shout out for food services summer meal buses. Our food services department will be providing free meals again this summer for children 18 and younger beginning on June 20th. We're excited to announce that we have 2 new meal buses that will travel to different neighborhoods. More information regarding the bus stops will be available in early June. Please remember that the following schools will be open for breakfast and lunch over the summer: Belmont Hills, Cornwalls, Faust, Rush, Struble, Snyder, and Ben Salem High School. That's all I have for you this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Heather Odie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. This time we'll go into our public comment section, and we have one, so I'd like to invite Josh Krager to the mic.
Hi everyone, my name is Josh Krieger. I'm a lifelong Ben Salem resident. Before I start, did want to mention that I was, as a student at high school, Ben Salem High School, a 4-year member of the junior ROTC group that was here earlier. Great program, had a great impact on me. I'm here because my daughter Maya was recognized today for her wrestling. Maya's actually a 3rd generation Ben Salem wrestler. My father, Pete Krieger, who's right behind me, wrestled for Ben Salem in the 60s. My brother and I, John, wrestled in the 80s along with Mr. Stewart, and his brother announced my daughter that is continuing along, and it makes me very proud. After I left competition as a wrestler, I went into coaching, as Mr. Stewart did, and over the course of more than 20 years, I served as everything from an unpaid volunteer youth assistant to the head coach of a high school varsity program in a handful of school districts in both Bucks and Montgomery County. The only reason I am even mentioning any of that is so when I tell you how much I appreciate the staff here at the high school, the coaches of the wrestling program, you know that's coming from a place of experience. Guys are awesome. I like their approach to the sport. I liked their approach to the kids. Coach Donnie, Coach Williams, has gotten more out of my daughter this year than any of her former coaches. And I say that as one of her former coaches. He took a girl that didn't even wrestle last year and made her the first state finalist in Ben Salem School District history. You might not be aware that girls wrestling is one of the fastest growing sports in Pennsylvania. And this year was the first PIAA affiliated, not sanctioned yet, first PIAA affiliated girls postseason tournament. And she pinned every single opponent all the way up to the finals as a freshman. And a lot of that credit goes to Coach Donnie, Coach Shoup, and the rest of the staff. So I'm really just coming up here to do 2 things. Number 1, go on record as showing my gratitude to the coaching staff and also advocate for girls wrestling. You may see my shirt, Grow Girls Wrestling. It's kind of a sentiment that is growing throughout the wrestling community. I know, Mr. Price, there are certain regulations about what a school board member can and cannot accept from the community. But I want to tell you that this shirt was made by a family friend and given to me at absolutely no cost. So technically, Technically, this shirt has no monetary value whatsoever. So, Mr. Price, I hope you'll accept one as well.
Absolutely. I love it.
So once again, thank you for recognizing my daughter and the sport of girls wrestling, everybody.
So before you step away, I'm a big proponent of girls wrestling and have been for a long time. As many people in the community may or may not know, I've been involved in the youth club for 20 some years. And my son actually coached at the middle school and helped 7 of the 8 girls get to states this year. So the girls wrestling in this township is growing, and we hope to continue to grow it.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items: Secretary's minutes items H1 through 6, Treasurer's report item I1, School board policy items L1 and 2, Instructional affairs items M1 through 4, Business affairs items N1 through 9 and 11, Personnel items O1 through 7.
So moved. Second.
Any questions on that? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Solicitor's report.
I have nothing to report.
Now we'll go into the standing committees reports. We'll start with instructional affairs.
It's attached.
Thank you much. Business affairs.
The minutes are attached.
Personnel.
Everything is attached to the agenda.
And the board policy.
The policy committee finally got to meet this month. We had a great meeting. Dr. Lee explained to some of us, or most of us, all how that works and where everything goes when. So it was a good meeting. Policy L1 and 2, I think, are in your agenda, and we decided to pass those. Recommend that to you, and that's about it.
Thank you, Ms. Odie. Liaison committees, I see that there are 3 minutes attached, so we'll just make a reminder to all the committee chairs that make sure that Ms. Harder gets your committee reports on time and prior to this meeting so they can be attached for the display. So in the future, we need to do a better job of getting that done. Technical High School Joint Commission, Ms. Snyder.
What?
Bucks County Technical High School.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the Technical High School met in a lengthy meeting last month. There are several outstanding students who were Ben Salem students. I was really pleased to see that. And it was a good meeting.
Well, let's just keep rolling with you, Ms. Snyder. Got anything for IU?
I do. IU is having a sock drive. Socks collected for homeless folks. And we're to bring socks to our next meeting. Any size, any color, male or female, doesn't matter. So we're collecting socks. I think there's going to be a big bin of socks. I really do. People were excited about this. That, of course, is the first thing on the list of what folks say they need when you ask them, you know, what do you need? And they'll tell you socks. So that's first. That meeting last time proceeded as expected for the most part, and we got a lot done. Everything on the agenda was passed, and that was it.
Awesome. One more time, Ms. Snyder. Anything for the LEDS committee?
For which committee? Where are we?
The Bucks County Legislative Committee.
Oh, our education secretary just resigned. I'm sure y'all saw that on your email. He's chosen to stay home and do some things with his family, do some other types of things. He might have had another opportunity that he didn't mention, I don't know. But he has resigned. There is already a replacement for him temporarily, and that's all set to go. There's an action day in Harrisburg. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Advocacy Day was yesterday, and Ben Salem was represented by Mike Stewart. Thank you, Mike. Mike and I had a chance to debrief a little bit. I welcome the opportunity to continue the conversation, but Ben Salem was represented, and one of a number of public school districts and school board directors and superintendents in Harrisburg yesterday to advocate for Pennsylvania's children.
And I don't know, Mike, how much fun you had, but we've always had a great time at the advocacy days. They like to see us. I only got thrown out of one office one time. That was a tech school day, I think. At any rate, they enjoy seeing people come, and they appreciate the input too.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Hall of Fame Committee,
There's really nothing to report.
Charter School,
There was no meeting.
Community Outreach and Public Relations Committee.
We did meet, and the report and the meeting minutes are attached.
Thanks. Co-curricular,
I did not attend the meeting last night.
thanks, Ms. Harder. Wellness Committee,
Yeah, I wasn't there this month.
Mark, you're up. Ben Salem Education Foundation Committee.
Before I forget, Hall of Fame I mentioned, Ralph Tam, former player for Ben Salem football, was inducted into the Bucks County Hall of Fame. Dr. Lee and I went, so it was a great honor. And Ralph has played about 9 years and had about two definite Super Bowl rings. We had a wonderful, and we're going to get the pictures from Sheila Murphy, and we'll give it to the district.
No, and also, along with Ralph Tam, former athletic director Denny Warg was also recognized, yes. So it was a great night for Ben Salem and Bucks County.
Was an amazing night. Okay, we met today, but we're since the board meeting is on Tuesday, so we're going to backdate everything to the month before. So we met in March 22nd. We went over the financials, and let's see. Went over our EITC. All our funds have been distributed except for $700. We're still left with that, and we're going to distribute that. We distributed $8,500 to the elementary school coding robotics program, allocated $1,500 for microphones, for camera cards, for OTN, and paid $3,800 for installation and training on the OTN recording studio. And we've also bought some new microphones. And we discussed our EITC program. We had our best year, $20,000 came in from that, and so we beat our record. It's about our fourth year. First Monday update, we, in May, the Philly Flaw, which is CJ's program, they're giving tickets out for that. We also gave Dunkin' Donuts for last month. School grants applications was updated, and we've got some new board Board meetings. Mike Stewart's going to join us. Yes. Thank you, Mike. And we also were talking about Just for Kids Foundation, a merger, and we discussed it today too. Okay. Discussed Venmo with our programs, and because the Flaw is attached, and one of our grants, the Struble grant, was we gave $500, and they used it for indoor recess items, and that's my report.
So just hold the mic for a second, Mike, and we'll skip Mark. The Bensalem Township Drug and Alcohol.
They didn't meet.
Mr. Pajon, Bensalem Township School Board Liaison.
Yeah, due to competing priorities, was not able to meet.
Thanks, everybody. So we're down in instructional affairs, item number 6. Well, item number 5. Pardon me for jumping out of order. Need a motion to approve student withdrawal waiver release agreement for students K, L, M, and N as reviewed with the board in executive session under confidential student matters.
So moved.
Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the settlement agreement and release for student O as reviewed with the board in executive session under confidential student matters.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Business affairs item number 10. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the request for a waiver of rental fees for St. Ephraim CYO track. Request is for the waiver of rental fees only. St. Ephraim CYO is responsible for custodial costs and security fees.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Item 12. I'd like to make a motion to approve the middle school consolidation and planning process proposal for the Schrader Group as presented, contingent on the successful negotiation between the district solicitor and the Schrader Group for subsequent agreement for the design and specification of a new middle school if the board elects.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Some more housekeeping items. The board did meet in executive session on matters concerning confidential student matters, labor negotiations, employee personnel matters. All meetings are conducted here at the Dorothy D. Call Administrative Center, 3000 Dolan Drive. The public is invited to attend. On April 28th, the budget work session number 3 will happen at 6 p.m. May 3rd, instructional affairs at 6. May 10th, personnel. May 11th, business facilities and technology committee. May 16th, co-curricular committee and sports association. May 18th, committee of the whole work session at 6 p.m. May 19th, Public Relations and Outreach Committee at 6:30. And May 24th, adoption of the proposed final budget. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Nays? Abstention.